He didn't just run a cartel. He built a private army. He shot military helicopters out of the sky and flooded the world with drugs. This is the terrifying true story of El Mencho and the explosive 2026 raid that finally killed him. In the shadowy, blood-soaked world of global cartels, few names command as much terror and as much mystery as Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. To the authorities, he was a ghost. To the world, he was known simply as El Mencho. While other drug lords sought fame in the spotlight, El Mencho sought only absolute power. His story does not begin in a palace, it begins in the dirt. Born in July 1966 into extreme poverty in the rugged hills of Michoacán, Mexico, Nemesio was one of 6 brothers in a family that barely had enough to survive. He dropped out of school in the 5th grade to work in the local agricultural fields. Every day, beneath the blistering sun, he picked avocados for pennies, but he quickly realized a dark truth. The green gold of avocados kept a man in poverty, but the green fields of marijuana hidden deep in the mountains made men kings. By the time he was a teenager, he abandoned the orchards to guard illegal marijuana crops. In the 1980s, looking for a way out of poverty, Nemesio crossed the border into the United States. He made his way to California, but he wasn't there to work construction. He began building a street-level drug distribution network, dealing heroin and meth. His luck ran out when he was caught selling to undercover officers. He was sent to a federal prison in Texas for 3 brutal years, and eventually deported back to Mexico at the age of 26. But prison had not reformed him, it had educated him. When he returned to Mexico in the early 1990s, he made a brilliant and terrifying move. He joined the local police force in Jalisco. He wore the badge and carried the gun of the law, but it was a perfectly orchestrated cover. While pretending to be a cop, he was secretly working as a heavily armed enforcer for the Milenio Cartel. During this time, he married Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia. This was the ultimate underworld merger. Rosalinda's family, Los Queenies, was a massive, highly sophisticated money laundering empire. By marrying Rosalinda, El Mencho suddenly had tactical police training, ruthless muscle, and an endless, untraceable bankroll. In 2010, the Mexican underworld shifted violently when a powerful cartel boss was killed, creating a massive power vacuum. El Mencho seized his moment. He broke away, rallied his most loyal men, and founded his own organization, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or CJNG. From the beginning, CJNG operated like a heavily funded private military. El Mencho equipped his men with matching tactical gear, rocket-propelled grenades, and armored tanks called monstruos. He instituted a brand of psychological warfare that shocked the world. He wanted public, theatrical displays of terror. His cartel left bodies hanging from highway overpasses, dropped severed heads onto nightclub dance floors, and flooded social media with highly produced execution videos. His absolute defiance of the government reached a boiling point in May 2015. When the Mexican military launched an operation to capture him, El Mencho didn't hide. His forces used a rocket-propelled grenade to shoot a military transport helicopter out of the sky. The message was clear. El Mencho was fighting a war, and he was winning. By the 2020s, CJNG reached its absolute peak. El Mencho pivoted to synthetic drugs, building hundreds of super labs in the jungle to produce meth and fentanyl. He was a billionaire many times over, commanding an army of tens of thousands. But as his empire reached its zenith, the man himself began to decay. El Mencho developed severe, chronic kidney disease. He couldn't risk stepping foot inside a city hospital, so he used his massive wealth to build fully equipped, private medical clinics hidden deep in the impenetrable mountains. The ghost of the mountains became a prisoner of his own failing body. He slept in a different concrete safe house every night, hooked up to dialysis machines, terrified of drones and betrayal. The walls were closing in. His son, his daughter, and his wife were all captured by authorities. Just before dawn on February 22nd, the eerie silence of the mountains was shattered by the deafening roar of Black Hawk helicopters. Hundreds of elite Mexican military special forces descended from the sky, while armored ground units sealed off the mountain passes. El Mencho's personal guard, fiercely loyal to the end, unleashed a terrifying barrage of fire. The mountains echoed with a ferocious firefight that raged for nearly 2 hours. The cartel soldiers fought to the absolute death to protect their dying king, but the military perimeter was impenetrable. The special forces breached the main cabin. There, deep in the mountains, surrounded by the smoking ruins of his final stronghold, the medical equipment that had kept him alive, and the bullet-riddled bodies of his men, they found him. The man who had terrorized a nation and built an empire of ash and bone was dead. On February 22, 2026, the myth of El Mencho was shattered forever. The desperate boy who picked avocados for pennies had become a billionaire kingpin, only to die hunted, sick, and cornered in the dirt where his story first began. He left behind a legacy of unparalleled violence and a dark, permanent reminder to the world. In the brutal realm of the cartels, no one escapes the end.